Hello, Vibers. Today we are getting messages from the goddess Kalima about why your anger at work is justified and what you can do about it. They don't know what's coming. If you happen to be new here, my name is Shon, and I am so excited that you are joining us. Now, this is especially true if you are in a situation at your job where people are making you mad, pissing you off, asking for it. We about to give it to them. Let's take a look at your piles. I'm out of control today, y'all. I really am. Anyway, you guys, so as you can see, I have put together 3 piles for you, as always, each with a different representation of the goddess Kali on it. However, I've also included a 4th Kali card because I really just love how diverse, how different each of these representations of the goddess looks, and I wanted to include this one as well. So you can use these various cards as your selector to take you to your pile. You can, of course, use your intuition, or you can use the combination of a crystal, quote, and flower that I have put together for you per usual. So first we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Take a second, take a look, see which of these 3 piles is calling to you today. And then you're going to go to the description box, find your time stamp, your timestamp, and then I will see you in your reading. Hello, group 1, and welcome to your reading. So today we are getting messages around why your anger at work is justified. So you could think of this as a shadow work reading if you would like, particularly since we are going to be getting our guidance from Kali Ma. Most people usually say just Kali of the Hindu tradition. And we, when we work with Kali, a lot of times it's because there is some shadow aspect of ourselves that needs attending to, or that's trying to, come to our consciousness because we want to tend to it. Not just that it needs to, but that we actively want to. And that shadow self knows us just as well as any other part of ourself does. So I pre-plucked some cards for you. We're going to start off with some oracle cards as well as some tarot cards to get an idea of the situation and why your anger is justified, and then what you can do about it. So the first card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles from the Light Seers Tarot, starting with our tarot cards. And we have the Star. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Swords that came out together, which I find very interesting together, particularly since we are talking about work. We've got Pentacles twice here, right? We've got the Queen of Pentacles as well as the Ace of Pentacles. And then from the Disney Villains Tarot, we have the 8 of Swords, which I will put right there. And from Vanessa Samoyan as well, Muse Oracle deck, we have Perfect Moments. Okay, group 1. Yeah, your anger at work is definitely justified because here's what you are dealing with. First of all, know this. You are thought of very, very highly at your job. And there's a part of you that already senses this, maybe because you've been told outright or you just had a feeling. But the people who are decision makers, the people who are in charge, the people who decide who gets pay raises and promotions, they think very highly of you and they respect you. From the time you interviewed for this position or first started working with them, if it's a situation where you are a business owner and we're talking about your clients as opposed to you being an employee in a workplace. But from the minute you met the people that you now work with or for, the ones who are the decision makers, they have known you are what they want. Let me say that better. Let me say it a lot better. You are who they want, not just as a personality, but of course with the skills that you bring and your level of professionalism. I can talk. And then on top of that, there's this energy around you of just innovation. And they're very excited by the ideas and the concepts you come up with, okay? So I'm using the word innovation, but it could also be creativity, again, depending on the type of work you do. Here's the thing, though. the person that is making you angry at the job, they are also aware of these things about you, and they wish that it was actually applicable to them. So you may be dealing with a situation where someone is always trying to take credit for the work you have done, or trying to pass your ideas off as their own. You may have actually even thought this person was your friend at the beginning of your knowing them, but what you are seeing over and over again, and they're not overt about it, they're not obvious, but you're noticing them try to get in good graces of others by taking what they've heard you say or seen you do and passing it off as their own, or trying to pass it off as their own. There is definitely a big jealousy quotient here. And it's because they want to be looked at as highly as you are. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people are impressed with you, what you can do, who you are, even how you dress. For some of you, I'm definitely getting a sense of, you've got a real good sense of style. But the ideas that you come up with, you blow people away with your, not just the ideas, but your way of speaking about them, your way of presenting them to others. I'm definitely getting a sense that you shouldn't worry that this person's actions are going to have a negative effect on you in the workplace, because other people also see what they are doing, including the decision makers, okay? You may have some, this person suffers very greatly from, see this Eight of Swords here? This represents the troubling person at the job. And they suffer from very low self-worth. Even if they don't speak like it, they don't have a concept of themselves as being someone who could innovate or who is very creative, or even they may not even feel as though they deserve to have the position that they have. This might be someone who got the job through a favor that was called in, or because they knew someone, like a connection. That's what I really should have said. Not so much a favor that was called in, but more along the ideas of a connection. Somebody that they knew was part of deciding that they would get hired for this job. And so there's a little part of them, maybe even a large part of them, that constantly struggles with the feeling like they don't belong there. They have imposter syndrome, and they don't have a growth mindset, this person that is making you angry at work. Now, I just got to hit that for some of you, it's a group of people. There might be like a clique of people. I shouldn't put clique in air quotes. What I meant to put in air quotes was mean girls, okay? And they may not even all be female, but this clique that has this mean girls energy, that together they are trying to detract from the honor or the praise that you get. And this is getting on your nerves, and it is making you mad. And listen to me, group one, you have every right to be upset, but your guidance here is not to let it overwhelm you, consume you, even distract you. Even just a little bit. Don't let it distract you. The key here for you, group one, is to keep your own ego in check. This person or these people's way of acting is about their own, I already said insecurities, but there's a better word. It's their own ego, right? Their very weak ego, that they try to come off as having a big ego, not knowing that that's not necessarily a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Ego is really truly just the identity. And they don't have a very strong sense of themselves, particularly in this position, in this environment. And they especially feel threatened when you are around. So I'm not saying this for you to feel as though you need to try to make this person feel better, try to build them up. No, you need to watch yourself with this person. They cannot be trusted. This is a fact. They cannot be trusted. And their own limiting beliefs. What's the opposite of growth mindset? I'm drawing a blank right now. Fixed mindset. That's right. So this person doesn't have growth mindset. If they had growth mindset, it would be that they realize they feel like they're behind, and they would do whatever, whether or not it's true that they're behind, they would do whatever it takes to get up to speed, to feel as though they deserve the job. But that's not what they're doing. Instead, they have it in their minds that there are people who can and people who can't, or they are people who deserve and people who don't deserve, or people who get and people who don't get. And they have cast themselves in the position or the role of someone who doesn't get, who doesn't have. And unfortunately, it also means they believe they don't deserve. So instead of trying to improve themselves or, get more qualifications, even ask for help, they're going about the whole thing in a very childish way. And you have picked up on some of this, group one. This person likes to come off as though they've got it all together, but they don't, They do suffer from, in addition to the low self-worth and the imposter syndrome, a perfectionist quality without having the skills or the discipline. Discipline is actually the better word for trying to make something as good as it can be. Not that perfect is ever required, or maybe in your work environment, there is a messaging that perfection is required. But this person is not going to be able to stop you from getting the promotions that you are earning, and you are, again, thought very highly of in this role that you have, okay? They're not going to be able to stop you from getting the credit where it's due. They might just make things a little bit more difficult because of the discord they sow through the drama and trying to take credit for that which you have come up with. But you will continue to have great ideas, and you will continue to be recognized for those ideas and compensated for those ideas. Your light will not cease to shine. No matter what this person does, they will not be able to overshadow you. In fact, if anything, what they do will bring even more of an awareness to others of how limited they are. You can continue to feel secure in the position that you have and know that continual growth is in store for you, okay? But don't get sidetracked by what this person is drumming up with their negative beliefs. And the message from Kali Ma for you would be this. Don't be distracted by wars of ego. Continue to think of yourself as worthy and know that you are worthy of the work that you get and the praise that you get for that work because of the work that you do. To the extent that you can, isolate yourself when you're in the work environment in order to keep the high vibration that you bring to the job. Because I'm getting, for a lot of you, this is work that you always dreamed of doing and you love the fact that this is your job now. So don't let this other person disrupt or destroy your perfect moments, right? They see you as perfect, even though you know that you just do your best, and your best just happens to be really good. Just, you are really very strong. And I'm getting the sense that you're strong at everything you do. You probably have a lot of people who are envious of you, but they don't all act out on it like this person who is making you mad at work. But if you can keep your mind contained, don't feel like you need to point it out to anybody else what this person is doing, and don't get caught up in confronting them, because there is an aspect of this person that lives for drama. And they would love to take you down a notch. They would love to have you not look so perfect. Don't give them that. All right? So your guidance from Kali Ma is to, release any of your own limiting beliefs that might make you feel as though you have to defend yourself or you have to prove something to anyone. You do not. You are clearly seen. Okay? And if there is some growth that you can do through this, it is in not doubting your inherent worth or thinking that someone else can convince somebody. Let me say that better. Release any idea that another person has the power to make someone else think differently about you. They do not. And this person that's causing the problems and making you mad at work, they cannot. Okay? Now, I know several of you guys have gotten my Connect to Your Abundance guided meditation that has been helping you with your career and finances. Because that has been so popular, I've decided to do a new meditation. It's actually more of an activation because I do it all high energy, high vibration with fun music and not the boring stuff. You know what I mean? And it is specifically designed to help you draw in more financial wealth. Not just abundance, the general idea of abundance, but money. That's going to be available on my website very soon. I will keep you posted, as I know you know I will. You'll also be able to get it as a member of my Patreon community. If you choose to join Patreon, you don't just get that one meditation, but actually access to my entire library of full-length meditations. Patreon members also get a once a month love pick a card from me, you know, that topic that I don't do here on the channel. And every Sunday night, I do a vibe check for the week ahead so you can, you know, prepare yourself for what's to come, whether it's challenges or opportunities. I couldn't get the word out for a second. I was like, whether it's opportunities or challenges. I feel like there's another Patreon benefit that I'm forgetting. What is it? I don't know. Hey, you know what? Go to Patreon, check it out right now and see for yourself. It's patreon.com/shon.vibes. In the meantime, this is what I have for you today, you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. And I will see you in my next one. Yeah, we're going to make that singing thing a staple. Hey, Group 2, and welcome to your reading. Today, we are looking into why your anger at work is justified, and we're getting our guidance from the goddess Kali Ma to help you deal with this situation. So let me begin by saying that when we work with the goddess Kali, oftentimes we are doing shadow work. We are dealing with something that is coming to our awareness that may be operational inside of us or even possibly inside of another person. So don't be surprised if you get some surprises from your messages today. So I have pre-plucked some oracle cards and tarot cards for you. We're going to start with your tarot portion, okay? So the first card that you guys got, this is the Light Seers Tarot that we're using today, is the Seven of Pentacles. Your second card is the Two of Cups, Group 2. The third card that you have is the Four of Pentacles, Group 2. Group 2, have you been dating on the job? Have you not heard that phrase, don't shit where you eat? Now listen, I'm not trying to blame you for what's going on, but I feel like there's something going on here that has to do with romance. And you know I got that because of this Two of Cups. We'll find out more in just a second. The next card that we have is from the Disney Villains Tarot. This represents the person that's giving you the trouble at the job. It is Group 2. You have the Death card, and you know, Death is represented in this particular deck as the god of the underworld, Hades, from the movie Hercules, which I actually hated when I first saw it, but now as an older adult, just an adult, I guess, yeah, older adult works because I think I was in my 20s when it came out. I can't remember. But anyway, I like it now. But back in the day, I used to think that Disney movies should only have princesses in them. I still kind of feel that way. Don't judge me. Anyway. And then the final card you guys got, Group 3, says healthy boundaries. Yeah. All right. We are talking about more than likely a love relationship that is no more and is causing some drama in the workplace because of hurt feelings. In some cases, it may not be a romantic relationship because, of course, this is a collective reading, or a collective reading, a reading for several people, as opposed to just a personal reading, obviously. So for some of you, it may not be that it was a romantic relationship that is no more, but rather what you thought of as close friendship, you know, like your best friend at work kind of situation, or even your work husband kind of situation, or work wife kind of situation. But someone that you felt close with at the job is you're no longer in relation with that person the way you used to. You guys don't have the same dynamic that you used to have. And unfortunately, instead of being mature about this, because I'm getting a sense that there was some, don't hate me group 2, but I'm getting that there was some shared fault in what led to the ending of this connection. That you both did a little bit of wrong. One of you may have done more wrong than the other, but nobody was completely blameless in this situation. However, at this point now, I am getting that the other person is being the perpetrator. The other person is acting childish, acting childish, and deliberately being hurtful. You're probably seeing in this person emotionally immaturity that you didn't pick up on before. You weren't aware that they had in them the ability to do the kinds of acting out that they are now doing. It may be hard for you to believe at this point that you ever considered yourself friends with this person or in love with this person, close to this person in any way. You're looking back over the course of the connection that y'all had, what it used to be and what's going on with it now. And you're also looking at the job itself and you're wondering whether or not it's worth it to stay in the job because this person is deliberately making it hard for you. And I'm getting that you're not a person that thrives on or enjoys at all drama, particularly in the workplace. You may be someone who finds that you can't escape it because of other people that you know, particularly in your personal life, like family members, but you don't believe in drama in the workplace. And so you may have been taking a look at this scenario and weighing whether or not you feel it's worth it to continue in this position or with this company. Getting that this other person is going out of their way to try to make you jealous. Again, if it's a romantic relationship, they are throwing the flirt at someone else to try to make you see, what you've missed or what you're missing out on now. At least that's their intention, whether you feel that way or not. And what I'm getting is that you mostly feel disrespected by them more so than you feel like, oh, I miss them. There might be a little bit of you that misses them, depending on the level of closeness. But you definitely feel disrespected by this person throwing their attention on someone else now and doing it in such a way that you can tell that they're trying to get under your skin. If it wasn't a romantic connection, but it was just like a friendship a platonic friendship that is no more. This person is, again, being immature about it, being loud and overt about their new work friends. Or maybe you were part of a group and the whole group is isolating you now, or not isolating you, but, alienating you now. That's the word that I meant. Your guidance, though, is to remember what is important to you, particularly when it comes to your livelihood. It is so important for you to remember to take care of yourself and not throw yourself into a situation of economic insecurity because of this person's antics at work. One of the things that's coming up as a message from Kalima is that this is a great opportunity for you to practice setting and adhering to your own healthy boundaries. This says to me that the person in question might have a tendency right now to try to hook you in and then pull the rug out from under you. Are they kind of going back and forth? Like 1 minute they're acting like, they don't want anything to do with you anymore. And then the next minute they are acting like, they want to try to mend the situation between you, be friends again. They might even say something like, what happened to us? We were close once. Or, I had really big hopes for us. I thought we were going to work out if it was a romantic thing, something like that. And then the next thing you know, they are doing something specifically to hurt your feelings, but they're not overt about it. They're not blatant. It's like the idea of dog whistling. So they'll make a little snide comment that you understand, what they're trying to say, and other people don't say it. It's like they're trying to get you to react. If this person is narcissist, what they're doing is literally called reactive abuse. It's trying to get a reaction out of you to make you look bad in front of others. They may also have been doing a bit of a smear campaign about you. Okay, so just some things to be aware of is don't let this person in anymore. The guidance definitely is for you to remember that you have a sense of what healthy boundaries are. See, this card in this spread that we're doing right now, this card represents you and the best of you, or one of the strongest qualities of you. So if you don't identify as someone who typically has healthy boundaries that right now are being violated, or that you are letting your guard down about those boundaries, or regarding those boundaries, then it's saying that you are someone who has the potential for establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries. At their core, this person is not dealing with the fact that that relationship has ended and it is time to move on. They are still in relationship with you in their minds. And this is why they do the petty little shit that they do. Okay? But your guidance from Kalima is to remember that what they do, what they bring to you, is an illusion. Whether it's that they are trying to act like they want to reconcile, you can't trust it. Or if it's that they are acting confused about what happened, you can't trust it. Or even if it's just that they're trying to act as though they're fine without you, but they're being really loud about it in broadcasting their new closeness with this new person that they are focusing their attention on, or they're broadcasting that they and the little friend group there are leaving you out. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. This person has their own shadow work to do. Because again, as established earlier, they are extremely immature. And maybe that's why you guys aren't close anymore. Maybe you started to realize yourself when you guys were still close that they weren't what you thought they were. Or that they were doing things that you had a problem with. And maybe you called them out on those things, or not necessarily called them out, but even just, gently, or from a place of compassion, brought up some things that you saw, and they did not like it. They did not react well to it. And one of the things I'm getting to tell you, group 2, is to know that the bigger portion you've seen of this person is the true portion. Let me say that better. There might have been this much time. If you're not looking at the screen, look at it now, okay? See my hands? My fingers, this much amount of the time that you've known them, that they were cool and fun and chill or loving. But this much of the time, they've been an asshole. So you need to pay attention to what you've seen the most from them. Do not let yourself be fooled by what they want to present about themselves, whether to you or to others. Okay? And definitely don't feel as though you're missing out on something from them that they're now giving to somebody else. Because listen, people are who they are. And if they had the ability to turn on you, they have the ability to turn on that other person as well. And you better believe at some point they will do it. Or it'll be a dynamic where they can completely control that other person all the time. And that person is just not going to be happy in the situation. Whether they have the self-worth or the strength to step away from it at some point or not. Not your concern. You focus on setting and maintaining your own healthy boundaries, including the boundary of keeping your finances intact by not leaving your job because somebody else don't know how to act. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Now, listen, if you have been feeling in general that you wanted to make a job change, absolutely go ahead and do that. Don't stay just to prove something to this other person. You cannot prove something to this person who's making you mad at work. That's not a doable thing. You can't. They're going to think and say and do what they feel like in the moment, whether it's what they really think or believe or not. I stumbled over that, but I think you get what I'm saying. Because remember, the key word here with this person is illusion. Okay? Okay, so your guidance is let go of what was, focus on yourself, set healthy boundaries, and remember, trust what you know. That other person's shadow is at play. Their ego is at play. They are showing you a false self, oftentimes. And you don't have to be jerked around by it. Okay, group 2? Yeah, you guys. Yeah. You've been assessing some things. And as you do that, remember that your primary concern, particularly when it comes to a work environment, is to take care of yourself and your own financial needs. Let the past be the past, let it end. Whether that other person wants, hey, listen, just because they live in the past doesn't mean you have to. Boom, done. That's the whole story right there. Boom, done. Okay? All right. Callie just told me to remind you to be on your own side. Now, I know if you follow this channel a lot, you're like, Shon, you know that's something that you say. Who do you think I got it from? That's all I'm saying. Now, I know that several of you guys have already gotten my Connect to Your Abundance guided meditation. And because it's been so popular, I've decided to create a new one. This new one is actually, you know what? They're activations. They are not meditations. I'm so used to saying meditations, but mine are activations because the vibration is high, the energy is high, the music is upbeat and fun. That's the way I roll. If you've been watching my content for a while, you know that. So with this new activation, we are focused more on financial wealth specifically than just the general idea of abundance. That's going to be available for you on my website, shonwilson.com/shop. I will, of course, keep you posted along the way so you'll know exactly when it's available for you to go get. Another way you'll be able to get it is through my Patreon. If you choose to become a member of my Patreon, part of my community, you get the full access to my entire library of all of my full-length meditations, the ones that have already been created, as well as any that come along in the future. Come along, like they're just going to show up. Any that I create in the future. On top of that, you'll also get a love pick a card once a month. You know that topic I don't do here on my YouTube channel. And every single week, we will do a vibe check on Sunday night so I can give you an energy reading for the week to come in order to help you prepare for any obstacles or challenges that you might face. I know there is another benefit that I'm forgetting, but I can't remember what it is. You know what? By the time I get to group 3, I'm sure I will. In the meantime, this is what I have for you today, you guys. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Hey, group 3, and welcome to your reading. So, we are looking at the reasons why your anger at work is justified. Ooh, yes. Sometimes you just gotta let that anger out. There's nothing more freeing than to accept all aspects of yourself, and that includes anger. So, for our reading today, we will be getting our guidance from the goddess Kali Ma, a goddess who is no stranger to, shall we call them the darker emotions? Should we call them the fiercer energy? Should we just go ahead and call it anger? Because that's what the heck it is. I have pre-pulled, I should say, some oracle cards and some tarot cards for you for today's reading. So we're going to begin with your tarot cards from the Light Seers Tarot. The first card you guys got is the Queen of Wands. Yes, power. Power. I got the power. Did I just sing that song in a different video recently? I feel like I did, because I don't sing that song well at all. And I don't know why I keep doing it. Your second card is the Ten of Cups. Interesting. To get 10 of Cups in a reading about anger. Oh, yes, that would make sense. And I kind of felt that when we got this 10 of Cups. Oh, yep, Kali agrees. She's like, yes. I'll put her back where she belongs. There we go. 3 of Swords. Queen of Wands, 10 of Cups, 3 of Swords. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot. You guys actually got 2. You got 2 cards in your third position when I pulled. So you got the 3 of Swords and you got the Justice card. And then for your the card representing the person or persons at the job that are giving you a hard time or making life harder for you, causing you this anger, or even the situation. It could be a situation, actually. Yeah, Page of Swords. Look at that Page of Swords. Look at that. Oof. And then representing you is, and I forgot to tell you, this is the Disney Villains Tarot. And then representing you, no strings attached. And this is Vanessa Simona's Wild Muse Oracle. So the energies of this card represent something you already know about yourself as a high quality of yourself, or it is a potential that you have, a high quality potential that you have, that the situation may be leading you to realize and embrace. It's a very beautiful card. Okay, so listen, group 3. You are in a place right now with a job where it's like you are writing your own ticket. I think that's the phrase. Things are going well for you and have been going well for you for a while in the job. You might have recently gotten a promotion. You might actually even be the business owner in the work that you do, but somehow, some way, you are very effective. So either you recently got a promotion, or you are a manager of many people, or you are the owner of the business, or someone is looking to make you one of those things. Your word carries a lot of weight. It's like, depending on your age, you may remember there used to be these commercials that said, when E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen. I'm definitely dating myself with that reference. But if you don't know it, basically it means that when, a person in the room who is known to have wisdom on or experience in a topic talks, others revere that person. They shut up and they listen. And that is your general energy. Whether you have a formal title that aligns with that or not. We've all had jobs where someone we worked with, we were like, God, how come you're just a, cashier? You should be like team lead or something like that. And so you've got that energy, very strong leadership energy, very powerful energy. And you're a person whose word and whose actions carry weight. But there's a desire inside of you to have a more harmonious workplace than what you find yourself in. I'm getting that there tends to be a lot of unfair behavior that happens at the job. Okay. People's accomplishments aren't necessarily always being recognized. You may be under a leadership who recognizes some people's worth, but not other people. And they do this strategically. They do it as a tactic to try to, their thinking is it will make the team better. It'll make the work environment better. They deliberately have a discord mentality. Let me say that better. They create an environment of competition purposefully. I guess they both work. But anyway, but that's not ideal for you. For you, you like harmonious, cooperative work environments. You don't like seeing people's feelings be hurt or people not being treated fairly. Like, it's not so much that you're like, keep people around that aren't doing a good job. You probably have more of a mindset of, listen, if somebody is struggling in some way or they're underperforming in some way, how do we help them fulfill their potential? How do we bring them up to speed? What training can we give them? What support can we give them? That's the approach that you would take. It's cooperative. It's thinking of the whole. It's the team. And this is, evidence in this leadership energy you have. Again, whether you have a formal title or not, it's just the way you think. You are what would historically be considered a good leader, naturally. Very natural leadership qualities. Very effective in your words and in your actions. And this environment doesn't allow for that. Instead, there's there's more of a mindset of, you may hear oftentimes something like a chain is only as strong as its weakest link kind of mindset. I don't have any more of those kinds of things coming to mind right now, because I'm like you. I don't truck in that kind of thinking, and I have been self-managing for so many years now. I don't even remember the dysfunctional shit that people say in group environments, group work environments. But they're out there. There's a lot of, especially if you work in a corporate environment, a lot of disgusting corporate culture, even hustle culture itself, kind of mentality and verbiage that what is said is that it's to help refine people or make them stronger, make them better. But what it actually does is it's very demoralizing to some people, and it's heartbreaking. And it's not just heartbreaking from the people who are suffering under that kind of leadership, but even for those who might be thriving in it. Let me say that better. Those who are recognized, it might hurt their heart to see teammates, work friends, or just another human being be treated so poorly. I'm getting that there's, very harsh energy, very harsh words spoken to people, to their faces, the ones who have been singled out or designated as underperforming, underachieving, not worthy. And there may be a part of you that's wondered, well, why don't you just, let them go, as in release them, as in fire them, so that they can collect unemployment and get a better job or something like that. Though I do feel like the majority of you who are drawn to this pile or to this group, your instinct would really be to help bring that person up to speed, help, strengthen their skills, their training. But since you're not in control of the whole thing, for the majority of you, that's what I'm getting. There may be a select few of you in here who are the actual business owner, but I feel like probably not, just because there's so much energy here around you feeling that what's happening is unfair and not having the ability to make it fair, to make it right, to make it more harmonious and more collaborative and healthier, But there's someone else who is the decision maker, who is, here's another one. Oh, no, this is a different kind of saying, but it applies here to what I'm about to say. What is it? Fish rots from the head. And so it's the idea of, the whole, the environment is bad if the leadership is bad. And that is very much the energy that is causing your anger in the workplace. You may even have found that you used to admire the person that you work for, or the person who is, the ultimate decider in this work environment, or even just the job itself, if it's a corporation, but you don't respect it anymore. You don't look up to it anymore. You've been disillusioned. The experience itself has changed your mind about that person or the organization because of the culture, because of the environment. And because of the way words are used, they're used as swords. They're used to cut, to divide, to hurt. There's been a recurring theme in all of the readings today. If I recall correctly, I may be wrong. Maybe not group 1, but I think even group 1, at least in group 2 and group 3, you guys in the group right before you, this recurring theme of emotional immaturity in the workplace, and the harm that can be done because of someone who's got a dynamic personality being emotionally immature, whether that dynamism comes from just the energy that they have, or it comes from their being in charge. And so because they're in charge, you can't escape them. But yes, this person who is represented by Page of Swords here, there is definitely just a callousness to the way they speak and not thinking before they talk, or thinking but choosing to say the mean thing anyway. And I felt that in my body. I feel like it's more that. So it feels as though for someone like you who's more mature, who's a better leader, and maybe even others in your environment, other coworkers, it feels as though they're not thinking before they talk. But I'm very strongly getting the sense that this is a strategy that they use. It is a strategy that they use. And then the representation of you here with no strings attached is clearly just a reminder that you have options. That since you know that you want a different sort of work environment where it is more collaborative, where it is more team-based, where people are valued and treated well and have the opportunity for growth. They are embraced in their talents, and their weaknesses are embraced too, in order to, again, be able to grow and learn and not just be thought of as only being as good as that right there and that's the best you could ever do. Just a reminder, a nice little reminder that you can leave. You may have been someone who used to leave jobs all the time when it didn't feel right or when it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. You may have had a very adventurous spirit, and I'm definitely getting that you're not risk averse. It's not fear that's keeping you there. It's not fear that's keeping you in this position. It's more along the lines of you're really enjoying certain aspects of that job, and the reverence that you get, the authority that you have, whether it's formal authority or not, the way you are looked at and treated there. And so there might be a little piece of you that feels like, you might have even heard yourself say it's a family, but it's a dysfunctional family, right? Or there might be a little piece of you that really does, love certain things about the job, even though there's this other part that ends up making you feel a way you don't want to feel. The anger that you have, I'm getting, might be a triggering from other dysfunctional environments you've been in before, and feeling as though being disappointed because you felt as though you had moved on from those, that you had grown past those. You feel yourself to be someone that is more you're just beyond that. You've ascended beyond some of the behaviors and some of the actions. But what's unfortunate is that even if we ourselves undertake spiritual growth and have some personal ascension, right, we are still functioning in the world, and we are working with or dealing with, around, sometimes even loving people who aren't there. They aren't where we are, And the guidance that's coming through for you from Kali is, first of all, continue to acknowledge, not ignore. I don't know why the word ignore almost came out of my mouth. Continue to acknowledge all of what you feel. The good as well as the challenging feelings, including anger. Don't feel as though you have to deny the anger. I'm also getting to tell you, and this might feel risky to some of you, but I'm getting to tell you, don't reserve the anger for only when you're not at work. That because of your standing and because of your maturity and the spiritual ascension you have done in life, the spiritual transformations that you have experienced and that you might also still be going through, some of this might be triggering even more transformation in you. You have a way of speaking. Listen, you might have been placed here for such a time as this. That is, if I recall correctly, that is a quote from the book of Hebrews, I think. I haven't been involved with the religion of my upbringing in a very, very long time. But short version is, there's a Hebrew queen named Esther. She wasn't always a queen, of course. She was chosen by the king to become his wife, clearly. Hence, that's how she became queen. Bear with me. I'm remembering this as we go, okay? And this is one of those situations where the Jews were the minority in the environment. I can't remember where they were. I want to say Mesopotamia, but that's probably wrong. Don't quote me on that. And an advisor to the king had decided that the Jews needed to be exterminated. And so Esther's godfather counseled her to speak to the king on behalf of her people in order to save their lives. And the wording that he used was something like, who knows, you might have been placed here for such a time as this, I think. And I believe the advisor's name was Malachi. And that's, I feel like, the guidance for you. First of all, remember, you are not stuck there, that you have choices. You've got a strong resume and a strong set of skills, or you have a strong resume or a strong set of skills. And you're very impressive to people who meet you. So you can get another job if you want to. And with that in mind, should you choose to stay, yep, there it goes again. Every time this guidance comes up, something gets in my throat when I cough. use your voice. Open up that throat chakra. Your guidance from Kali is to let your anger is justified. Let it be known, because you have a way of speaking that will allow what you're saying to be received. Particularly if what I suspect about this leader's way of leading being a strategy, if you approach them with something more along the lines of, hey, I'm noticing that we're not getting some of the results from people that we really want, and I'm wondering if maybe we approach it like this might make a difference. I hope that was clear. I think you get it. You're smart. You're very smart. Most of the people that listen to my content or watch my content are, from what I can tell from those of you who comment, brilliant people. And so I'm getting that you can help turn it into the kind of environment you want it to be. And part of what will help you do that is remembering that you are not beholden to this place or this person, that you have options. Operate as though there are no strings attached. Stand up, speak up for these others and for yourself. Letting that anger come through. Anger does not have to look like, I know you didn't just say that. Why are you talking to them like that? I don't know why that's the voice I chose to go with there. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I've never talked to anybody like that in the workplace in my life, but that's where I went. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but you get what I'm saying. Ooh, now I'm doing this too. Come on, y'all. Anyway, so listen, you don't have to be loud and rowdy to express anger. You can. I was just saying to my sister the other day, I have let my anger come back online because I find that when I get angry, shit gets done. Listen, my family used to hate the anger that I had. And, some of it was out of control. I was young. I was dysfunctional. Happens. But I've grown up and I've learned more productive ways of dealing with my anger and handling it. But I did have a period of time in between where I wasn't allowing my anger to exist at all. And that wasn't helping anybody. And it certainly wasn't letting me get what I needed from people, because some people need to be yelled at. Customer service representatives a lot of time. Oh, please don't drag me for that. People in general, okay? Just people in general. So let the anger come through even at the job. Operate as though you have no strings attached. And you can help transform this environment. You will make a difference. I am getting that you are positioned in such a way or seen in such a way that it will be received. Okay? All right. You can help bring justice for the others. Instead of there being so many broken hearts in that environment. People just walking around sad, particularly those that don't feel like they can leave. They don't have the no strings attached mentality that you have the ability to have. I'm also getting that some of you have that naturally. Even if you don't have it in your history, that you just you used to leave jobs because they didn't fit you, or relationships, even situations, even if that's not in your history, your energy is one that you don't feel stuck. There's a confidence in there, a self-worth in there, a knowing that you have options. And if that doesn't sound like you to you yet, this guidance is saying that you've got that potential to be that person. That is possible for you. But you can help right the ship. Help level out and elevate this environment. You've got that ability. And that is your guidance from Kali Ma. Acknowledge your anger and use it. Now, I know that several of you guys have already gotten your Connect to Your Abundance guided meditation that I created for you several months ago. Thank you, first of all, for purchasing that. Now, because it's been so popular, I've decided to create a new activation for you. I'm going to stop calling them meditations. These are activations because it's high energy, high vibration, fun music. Like you might find yourself doing the bankhead bounce. Anybody out there old enough to remember bankhead bounce? while you listen to these activations, the affirmations that I've put together to help connect you to your best financial life. So the other one, the first one, is connect to your abundance. This new one is specifically focused on financial wealth. It's specifically about your money. That is going to be available for you on my website. I will keep you posted as developments happen so you can know exactly when you can go and get it. The website address is shon.wilson.com/, say that 6 times fast, or maybe just once. Sean, say it one time, /shop. And you can also get it as a member of my Patreon community. If you subscribe at the Viber Plus level, actually all of the levels get access to the meditations, not just this particular meditation, but my entire library of full-length meditations are there for you on Patreon. And it's not just meditations that I have already created, but any new ones that I create in the future, you'll have access to those. In addition to that, as a Viber Plus member, you will also get the love reading, pick a card that I do once a month, the weekly energy check. Every Sunday night, I do an energy check to prepare you for the week to come, and access to extended readings whenever I do a video that starts here on YouTube and then continues with an extension to give you more details. Those are always available to be purchased on my website as well as my Etsy shop, or they are included as part of your Patreon membership at the Viber Plus level. That was a mouthful. Anyway, this is what I have for you today, you guys. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one.